Alright, so we found a fairway bunker here. What I like to do when we get into a fairway bunker is I like to dig my feet in, probably about ½ an inch, and therefore I'm going to choke down on my golf club about ½ an inch as well, just to create a level playing field. I always take an extra club out of the bunker and just do a 3/4 swing and really focus on hitting the golf ball first. Just advance it up there onto the green. Alright, here we are out on the driving range, and we have a alignment rod put in here. The goal for the alignment rod is to make me kind of stay inside of the plane or shallow of the club face as we're making contact. It's a good way to kind of correct that fade that people often have. And if you're not doing it correctly, you'll know pretty quick, because when you start to come down, you'll then hit the alignment rod and won't be able to get to the golf ball. But if you do it right, you'll stay inside of it and be able to strike the golf ball correctly. Should go a little something like this. Alright, here we are on the putting green, and we're a long way from home here. We're probably looking at 60-65 feet from the hole. On these long lag putts, our main focus is just going to be speed. We don't want to fall in love with the line. We just want to make sure we're hitting it the right distance, and that'll leave us a little bit shorter putt, trying to two-putt from here. So what I like to do on these long putts is I like to choke down a little bit, just because the last thing we want to do is hit the ground first and only make it halfway there. And then also I want to make sure I take a big stroke. I'm just working with the shoulders and really just trying to accelerate through the golf ball. Just worried about speed more than anything here. Anywhere inside of 5 or 6 feet is a good putt here. We just want to give ourselves a chance to make par. All right, so after assessing some of your shots, we saw that you went 3 for 5 from the short one, 2 for 5 the medium length, and then 2 for 5 on the longer one. Inside of 5 feet, which is very good. The only thing that I noticed was a little bit of inconsistency in contact. Sometimes you'd catch one a little bit thin, sometimes you'd hit the ground a little bit beforehand. So what we're going to try to work on is just getting a little bit more consistent contact with the face and the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to simplify things, try to make things easier for us. So a couple things that we're going to work on here is try to keep about 60% of your weight here on your front foot. And what we're going to try to do is limit any wrist hinge. We're going to try to work with the big muscles and the rotation of the upper body to just try to keep things consistent and get that ball started where we want to go, and kind of tightening our dispersion of our chip shots. So keep that about 60% of your weight here on the front foot, and you kind of just want to rock your upper body about the same distance back as through. A reason you do this is because when you start to manipulate the club face kind of gets in different places. What we want to do is keep the club face in one spot and kind of maintain that angle, and just use the big muscles to get the ball started on line. So from there, we'll have you step in, hit a couple shots, and see how things feel. I'm going to demonstrate clubbing up with some of these wedge shots. I see a lot of people try to hit their full 56 degrees and such, and it brings a lot of variables into play, and I see people coming up short a lot because they're trying to hit their wedge as hard as they can. So what I have here, it's about 95 yards. If I hit my 56 full and I hit it perfect, I could probably get it to the flagstick. But what we're going to work on is taking a little bit more club. I got my 52 degree here with me. So we're going to work on kind of shortening this up and making a more compact swing and controlling the distance here. So what I'm going to do is go through my pre-shot routine, step to the ball, and I like to choke down on the golf club about 1 inch. This just shortens the golf club, making sure the club doesn't go as far. Because I normally hit this about 110, so I'm trying to hit it 95 here.
Does that give you a little bit? It gives you a little bit more control there.
It does, absolutely. I'm a little bit closer to the club head, so I have a little bit more control of it. So I'm gonna choke down here, then get into my stance, and then we're gonna focus on how far we take the club back just during this practice period. So for about a 95-yard little knockdown 52 degree, You're going to want to take it back about hip high, like this, and then focus on keeping a V and staying in posture and controlling the speed and distance of the draw shot.
Okay.
All right. So to recap, mostly want to focus on choking down and focus on taking kind of a 3/4, more controlled swing, and focusing on keeping a nice little tight follow through, kind of taking some of the variables out of it and really controlling your distance, making for less errors and more greens.
All right. Awesome.